In part 3 of diseases of skin, we are going to discuss systemic lupus erythematosus and systemic sclerosis. Now, lupus erythematosus is characterized by presence of abnormal antibodies and immune complex. There are two types, one is systemic and another is discoid lupus erythematosus. These are the etiological factors which are responsible for the development of this disease. It is basically an autoimmune disease where autoantibodies are produced against the DNA, RNA, and various other cell organelles, including the ribosomes. There are various etiological factors related to this disease. Those include sunlight and various drugs. Now, starting with discoid lupus erythematosus, it is a chronic scarring atrophy producing photosensitive dermatosis. It usually occurs in third to fourth decade of life and is more commonly seen in females. It occurs on face, oral mucosa, chest, back, and extremities. Now, the appearance. It is circumscribed, slightly elevated white patch, often covered by gray or yellow scales. There may be a butterfly distribution on the macular region and across the bridge of the nose. Now, the forceful removal of the scale reveals numerous carpet-tack extensions which had dipped into enlarged pileospacious canals. So if you remove the upper layer or the upper scale, if you remove this upper scale, then you will find various extensions. So this appears like this. This is known as the carpet tack extension. Now coming to the oral manifestations, it is seen on the buccal mucosa, tongue, palate, and vermilion border of the lip. These are superficial painful ulcerations that may occur with crusting and bleeding. The lesion margins are not sharply demarcated and often show narrow zones of keratinization. Now, systemic lupus erythematosus, it is an autoimmune disease in which autoantibodies, immune complex formation, and immune dysregulation takes place, which is known to affect the kidneys, skin, blood cells, and CNS. It is most common in third to fourth decade of life and is also common in females. Now considering the location, it is seen in face, neck, upper arm, shoulder, and fingers. The symptoms include fever, joint and muscle pain, itching or burning sensation. Now the cutaneous lesions, these appear as erythematous patch which are symmetrical in pattern over the cheek and bridge of the nose, so giving a butterfly like appearance that is known as butterfly distribution. So this here is the patch. This is the patch on one side, this on the other side, and these are connected here. Now the oral manifestations. In the oral cavity, it is seen on the buccal mucosa, lips, and palate. Burning sensation, xerostomia, soreness of mouth are all features of systemic lupus erythematosus. There is a great tendency to bleed. Suspected ulcerations are often surrounded by a red halo. Now coming to the histology, as you can see, if this is the epithelium, this is the epithelium and this lower part is the connective tissue. So hyperkeratinization will be seen here. Few places will show this depression here, which is filled by keratin. So these are the keratotic pluggings. There may be atrophy of the rete pegs. There is liquefaction degeneration, as we have seen in lichen planus, and perivascular infiltration of lymphocytes can be seen. Now coming to the management, it is treated by systemic corticosteroid therapy, systemic corticosteroid therapy, and antimalarial drugs are also used in some cases. Now coming to the next topic, that is systemic sclerosis. It is also known as scleroderma or hindbound disease. It's also known as scleroderma or hindbound disease. It is a systemic connective tissue disease characterized by vasomotor disturbances, fibrosis, subsequent atrophy of the skin, subcutaneous tissue, muscle, and internal organs, with associated immunological disturbances. The various etiological factors related to this disease are, it is basically an autoimmune disease, and the various factors related are genetic, environmental, and vascular factors. It may begin in children or in young adults, but the range of age is 30 to 50 years, with a predilection in females. It usually begins on the face, hand, or trunk, and appears on the skin as yellow, gray, or ivory white waxy appearance. So skin gives a yellow, gray, or ivory white waxy appearance. There is a syndrome associated to this that is known as the CREST syndrome. So CREST syndrome is C for calcinosis cutis. Calcinosis cutis. R for Raynaud's phenomenon. Then E represents esophageal dysfunction. Esophageal dysfunction. S represents sclerodactyly. Sclerodactyly. And T represents telangiectasia. T represents telangiectasia. Now, circumscribed scleroderma, it is known as morphia. It is known as morphia. It is manifested by the appearance of one or more well-defined, slightly elevated or depressed cutaneous patches, whitish or yellowish in color, surrounded by a violaceous halo. Now, the lesions occur as linear bands or ribbons on the face, particularly the forehead, on the chest and trunk, or on extremities. Then it is known as a linear scleroderma. Now there is an appearance known as Coque de Sabre appearance. Now what is sabre? Sabre is basically a sharp instrument like this. So you can see this region, it appears to be hit by a sabre. Now oral manifestations, it affects the tongue, soft palate, and larynx most commonly. Others like gingiva and lip can also be affected. The tongue will become broad and stiff. So it will cause difficulty in eating and speaking. Now the histological features. There is thickening and hyalinization of collagen fibers, loss of dermal appendages, loss of retipegs. There is a loss of retipegs. There is increase in melanin production, increase in collagen and oxytocin fibers, and there is increase in Pes positive material. So coming to the management, no adequate treatment is there, but few theories suggest that D-penicillamine is the drug of choice for this condition. Drug of choice for this condition. So here we conclude the part 3 of skin lesions.